Something unexpected is happening across the country right now, and it's putting thousands of households at risk. SNAP benefits are being suspended without warning. And if you rely on SSI SSDI or via disability, this situation matters far more than it may appear at first glance. Because the real question, the one everyone is now asking, is this: what if your benefits are next? Across several states, people are discovering their SNAP case marked as pending, in review, or terminated, even if they submitted everything on time. Renewal notices are showing up late. Automated systems are causing delays. And some seniors and disabled individuals are being told they failed to respond, even when no letter ever arrived. These suspensions are not rumors. This is what's happening inside real households right now. And here's the part most SSI and SSDI recipients haven't been told. When your SNAP case is suspended, it can trigger income or identity rechecks in other programs, which means delays, verification requests, or sudden freezes in your file. For someone living on fixed benefits, even a temporary issue can disrupt rent, medicine, and basic needs. So, the real what if is this: what if the system is tightening in ways no one warned you about? What if you could prevent your benefits from being flagged before it happens? In this video, you'll hear exactly why the suspensions started, how they can affect SSI SSDI and VIA recipients, and what steps you can take immediately to protect yourself. Before we get into it, hit the like button so this crucial information reaches everyone who needs it. Let's break it down. Now, here's where everything becomes clearer, because once you understand what's really happening behind these sudden SNAP suspensions, the entire picture starts to make sense, and the steps you'll need to take will feel far less overwhelming. The truth is that the foundation of this problem didn't appear overnight. States have been quietly shifting their verification systems, staffing has been cut in many local offices, and even small delays in computer updates have created a domino effect that pushes seniors and disabled individuals into the middle of a disaster they never asked for. So when people call their local SNAP office and are told their case is pending review or missing documents, it's not because they made a mistake. It's because the system is glitching, backed up, or temporarily overwhelmed. And while agencies rarely admit that publicly, the pattern is too widespread to ignore. What's even more concerning is that many seniors have been relying on automatic renewals, especially since the pandemic years made that process feel stable. But those automatic renewals are now failing for some households without warning. A renewal that would normally process itself in the background suddenly stops, waiting for manual approval. And if the system doesn't receive that approval in time, even when the information is already in the file, your benefits freeze. That means a person who has been submitting paperwork for decades without a single issue is suddenly treated as if they ignored the requirements. And when the letter explaining the freeze arrives late, it leaves almost no time to react. That's why so many SSI and SSDI recipients are finding out at the grocery store during checkout when their card declines. It's humiliating, confusing, and completely unfair. But here's the bigger issue almost nobody talks about. When SNAP suspends your case, your income information inside the statewide system often gets flagged for re-verification. That means the department that oversees SNAP might request updated income details, address confirmation, or identity documents. When these internal flags pop up, other programs that rely on these shared databases programs like SSI SSDI Medicaid, rental assistance, and even certain VIA programs may also trigger their own identity or income checks. This doesn't mean you'll lose your SSI or SSDI benefits, but it does mean delays, letters, or follow-up requests can appear out of nowhere. The frustrating part is that these flags are not always caused by something you did. They happen because agencies cross-share data, and when one agency freezes benefits, it can ripple into others. This is exactly why so many seniors and disabled individuals are suddenly seeing letters that don't match what they know to be true. People living on fixed incomes who haven't worked in 20 years are being asked to verify employment. Veterans on VIA disability are being told their income cannot be confirmed. Seniors who haven't moved in a decade are suddenly required to submit new proof of address. These requests feel random, but they all connect back to data mismatches triggered by the SNAP suspension wave, and the system doesn't warn anyone about that in advance. And the worst part is that these letters are worded in a way that scares people into thinking their entire life may be affected if they don't respond immediately. When seniors or disabled individuals call the SNAP office to ask for clarification, they are met with long hold times, limited staff, and confusing explanations. Some people are told their case was closed because a document was missing, even though they submitted everything. Others are told they must recertify, even though they already did. And some are told their case is suspended for reasons the worker cannot see in the system, which only increases the frustration. This is where many people start to panic, because they fear this issue might spill over into their SSI or SSDI checks. And while SENAP and Social Security operate separately, the confusion comes from the shared data systems that track income, residency, and identity. If those databases register a conflict, it can easily lead to additional checks. But let's step back for a moment and talk about why this is happening nationwide instead of in isolated pockets. Over the last year, states have been required to perform stricter eligibility checks after the emergency policies from previous years expired. Agencies are overwhelmed, understaffed, and working through massive backlogs. And because the system was never truly designed to handle millions of verifications all at once, the result has become a kind of bureaucratic storm, one that hits seniors and disabled individuals the hardest, because their benefits depend on stability and predictable timelines. When that stability breaks, even for a month, the consequences can be devastating. Rent, utilities, medications, and groceries depend on benefits arriving consistently and on time. But here's something many people don't realize. You do not lose your SSI or SSDI automatically because your SNAP is suspended. Your Social Security checks come from a different system with different rules. However, if the SNAP suspension causes your income or identity information to mismatch in the shared database, Social Security may request verification not because you're in trouble, but because the system wants to ensure your information is still accurate. The key is that you respond quickly to any letters, even if they seem repetitive. Many seniors throw the letters away because they think they're duplicates, but those letters can prevent delays in SSI or SSDI payments if answered promptly. Another part of this problem involves the growing use of automated systems. Many states now rely on digital databases instead of in-person workers to automatically verify income. These systems are extremely sensitive. They compare data from multiple sources, and if anything doesn't perfectly match an old address, an outdated phone number, a bank account that changed, or even a slight difference in the way your name is entered, they flag your account. When the system can't verify something instantly, the case is suspended until a human reviews it. And because offices are overwhelmed, those reviews take far longer than they should. Another issue seniors and disabled individuals are facing is the delayed mail problem. Letters that should arrive in 5 days are taking weeks in some areas. Imagine receiving a recertification notice that gives you 10 days to respond, but the letter doesn't reach your mailbox until the 8th or 9th day. At that point, even if you respond immediately, the case may already be marked failed to comply, triggering a suspension. Many people assume the agency will fix this automatically once their documents arrive, but that's not how the system works. If the case closes due to a missed deadline, the system locks it until a worker manually reopens it, which takes time. And if during that time, other agencies check your information, they might also send letters because your case appears unverified. This entire situation is stressful, especially for seniors living alone or for disabled individuals who cannot get to the office in person. And the confusion is magnified for those who receive multiple benefits at the same time. A person receiving SSI SNAP, a disability, and Medicaid suddenly finds themselves juggling 4 different sets of rules, deadlines, and letters, even though they have done nothing wrong. It feels like the system is working against them, and the worst part is that no one explains what needs to be done to prevent the problem from spreading across their benefits. But let's talk about solutions, because while this situation is messy, there are ways to protect yourself and reduce the chance of further interruptions. One of the most important steps is staying ahead of the recertification timeline. Many people wait for the letter, but with the current delays, waiting for the letter can be risky. Calling the SNAP office a month before your renewal is due can help you confirm whether you need to submit anything early. Even though getting through the phone lines is difficult, a 5-minute confirmation call can prevent a month-long suspension later. Another step involves making sure your information matches across all programs. That means ensuring the address Social Security has is the same address SNAP has. It means verifying that the phone number listed on your Social Security file is the same one Medicaid and SNAP use. Even a small mismatch can trigger a verification request, especially when the system is already under pressure. And if you use a P box, make sure the state knows your physical address as well, because some letters cannot be sent to a P.O. box. One thing that has helped many people is asking for text or email alerts if their state offers them. Not every state has this option, but for those that do, it provides faster notifications than physical mail. A recertification reminder via text can save someone from missing deadlines caused by postal delays. And if your state allows online uploading of documents, using that system can speed up the processing of your case. It's not perfect, but it is often faster than mailing documents. Another important thing to understand is that suspended benefits can usually be restored more quickly if you contact the office immediately after receiving the notice. Many seniors assume the suspension means the worst, that benefits have been taken away permanently. But in most cases, once the required document is submitted or the missing verification is resolved, the benefits restart with back pay applied. The key is not letting the suspension sit unresolved for too long, because the longer it remains in the system, the more likely it is that other programs will begin requesting updates. Veterans receiving VIA disability face unique challenges in this situation. Because VIA systems don't always update as quickly as state systems, income updates from the VIA may appear delayed when the SNAP office tries to verify them. This can cause additional flags or unable to confirm income notices. If you receive VIA benefits, it's helpful to have your most recent VIA award letter on hand, because submitting it directly can override the verification delays. As we move deeper into this situation, more states are warning that verification rules will continue tightening. That means staying informed and proactive is essential. Seniors and disabled individuals are among the most vulnerable when benefits are disrupted, and this wave of SNAP suspensions is a reminder that relying on the system to run smoothly is no longer enough. Understanding the process, keeping paperwork updated, and reacting quickly to letters can protect your SSI SSDI and VIA payments from unnecessary delays. And perhaps the most important thing to remember is this: you are not alone in this. Thousands of people across the country are dealing with the same issues, facing the same confusion, and searching for the same answers. Even though the system feels chaotic, there are steps you can take to stay ahead of the problems. The agencies aren't always clear, the letters aren't always helpful, and the rules aren't always easy to understand. But being proactive gives you power in a situation that often feels out of your control. We're going to continue breaking this down throughout the video, but the bottom line is simple. SNAP suspensions affect far more than groceries. They can trigger verification flags across multiple benefit systems, and for seniors living on SSI SSDI or VIA disability, that ripple effect can create delays you cannot afford. But now that you understand why it's happening and how it spreads, you're better prepared to protect yourself before the next wave hits.